Happy Monday. I hope your weekend went well. I wanted to create this video after one of my community members on Instagram suggested it based on my DSW application experience. So you should know that I have applied to both PhD programs and DSW programs. So while I'm not an expert, I do have experience with applying to both. And I have a good understanding of both since I had interest in both programs and applied to both programs. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first major difference between the two degrees is that the PhD is for research-oriented careers and the DSW is for practice-oriented careers. So if you are interested in producing research and you are interested in contributing original contributions to the field, and that's all you want to do, really, the PhD is probably going to be the better route. If you are someone who wants to be in the field, you want to continue to work directly with populations, maybe you want to transition into leadership and you want to perhaps create a specialty, or you want to create a new intervention for a certain population, or you want to specialize in something, then the DSW would be for you. Now, with that said, you can do both with either degree. You can be a researcher with a DSW. You can be a practitioner with a PhD. So it just depends on your goals. One is created more so for each purpose that I just outlined, but it's not impossible to pivot and take a non-traditional route if you choose. The second difference is the format. The PhD program is typically offered online, the second one is the format. The PhD program is typically offered in person, while the DSW is offered online. With that said, you have PhD programs that's offered online, such as Baylor University, and your online universities like Capella and Walden University. You can get PhDs in social work there, and it's online. In your DSW, while most are online, you have some that's in person, like New York University and Aurora University. They both are offered through what's called the executive style, which the classes are offered in the evenings and on weekends. The next is the timeline. So for a PhD program, typically it's going to be anywhere between 4 and 7 years, and the DSW is going to be anywhere from 2 to 3 years. Again, with that said, you have DSW programs. I only know one in particular where it's 4 to 5 years. That's Aurora University. And for PhD programs, there are some people who complete it in less than 4 years. So it just depends on the person, depends on the program, depends on the situation. The next thing would be funding. Typically, if you are admitted into a PhD program, you are going to receive funding from your institution. Now, that funding can vary from full tuition and fees, as well as a stipend, to half tuition. It just really depends. And then your DSW degree, typically you're not receiving any funding from the institution. You are responsible for finding ways to fund it, which typically are through loans or out of pocket, through savings, or if you're a baller, your 9 to 5, or your business if you're a business owner. But typically you will pay out of pocket. But with that said, there are some programs like Capella University. Their DSW program offers some academic scholarships. as well as other programs like University of Pennsylvania. And then there are also external scholarships through CSWE or through the NASW. There's just a lot of different organizations that will provide scholarships, and you just have to be intentional about finding them. And there are some PhD programs that it's not free. So the next thing worth discussing would be the requirements to graduate. So typically for both, there's a final project, there's a final product that needs to be produced. In PhD programs, it's typically your dissertation, and for DSW programs, it's typically a capstone. Now, a dissertation is an original piece of research where you are contributing knowledge to the field. And a capstone is very practical, very innovative in the sense that you're looking at a current issue and you are creating a solution and you're addressing it, and then you're reporting your findings. Both has its value, both has its benefits. So it just really depends on what interests you most. If you are more interested in theory, a PhD may be the better route. If you're more interested in current issues or you're interested in community-based research or something, then the DSW may be for you. And the last one is going to be what type of jobs you get upon graduating. So when you graduate with your PhD, traditionally it's set up for you to pursue academic careers. Typically they're at universities, and you may be an assistant professor starting out, and then when you receive tenure, associate professor, and that's based on your research that you produce. You may teach 1 or 2 classes a semester, but what you are being judged on really is your research. That's what matters most. Or if you're working at a research firm or agency, or you're in policy or government, you can be doing applied research as well for those institutions. For the DSW program, typically its graduates are prepared to pursue teaching positions. Now, teaching positions are where you're really focused on teaching. You are going to have a heavier course load, maybe 4 to 5 classes per semester. And that's where your judgment is being based on. Some institutions, and it's becoming more and more increased, like at a teaching university, you could pursue a tenure track position, a teaching tenure track position. But maybe like at a Research 1 institution, you may not be considered for tenure, but it's kind of this understanding where, like, as long as you do well, as long as things continue to work out for you in terms of, like, no complaints and you're doing everything right and students are responding well, your contract will be renewed. And the contracts can vary. It could be a yearly contract, it could be every 5-year contract. It just varies. So again, many institutions are changing things up, so that's something to consider. Okay, so that is all that I have for you today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you found this very helpful. If you are in need of assistance, I am scheduling consultations with people who are interested in working with me more closely. You all have left me so many comments in the comment section. You all email me. Some of you have my personal number, and that's great. But there are some things that exceed what I can offer as I don't even like to use the word mentor, because I think that's meant for the mentee to label me as, although some people have labeled me as that. But a consultation appointment would really allow me to work very closely with you to look at the programs, dive and help you do that research. And so if you're interested in working directly with me, then I would be more than happy to work with you. I have different rates that I'll send you via email if you are interested. And so you can email me at donzellampkins@gmail.com. But thank you all so much for watching. And until I see you next time, be you, be great.